What is up, YouTube family? Welcome back to Quintessential Music and Entertainment. Today we are discussing the elephant in the motherfucking room. P. Diddy. The shit is finally hitting the fan. The skeletons are falling out the closet. And before we get started, I saw a name for him that just really cracked me up. From now on, we're calling this dude the Diddler. He wanted to be Batman and the Joker. And the whole time we found out this dude was the Diddler. The other thing I saw that was really funny was they said people are going to find out that this whole time Suge Knight was P. Diddy. And P. Diddy was Suge Knight this whole time. Now, a lot of y'all are shocked and a lot of y'all are fooled. But once again, not me. Now, I told y'all about R. Kelly. The people who know me know that I talked about R. Kelly long time ago. Way back, way back. Back when Aaliyah was still alive. I was talking about R. Kelly. When I saw that piss tape, when I saw him pissing on that girl, that was the icing on the cake right there. I never fucked with R. Kelly's music anyway. I was an Aaron Hall type of dude. You know what I'm saying? It was something about R. Kelly. It was just something about R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers know. You can smell that shit. You know what I'm saying? And now here we go with P. Diddy. Now, the people that know me, once again, will tell you that I called this shit on P. Diddy, the Diddler, from day one. From day one. I never liked this dude. Now, let's go back to prove how much of a clown this dude was. And I tried to tell people this so long, like 30 years ago. The first time I saw Diddy, the Diddler, was, I believe it was the Dolly My Baby remix with Biggie Smalls and him on the joint. When I saw this dude, they were sitting in a restaurant in like a booth, and I see Supercat do his thing. I'm seeing Biggie do his thing, and then this motherfucking Diddler comes in. I'm like, who the fuck is this dolphin teeth looking motherfucker? Like, the first time I saw that dude, he looked like a black bunny rabbit. Like, he just looked like a cornball to me. He just looked out of place to me. He just looked like a straight cornball to me. Like, it was just something about him I just could not rock with. And from that day on, I had to sit here and watch this dude prove me right. We saw him get into it with Wu-Tang Clan. RZA and them was talking about his shiny suits and that whole hip hop type of music that he was putting out, right? I was a Wu-Tang head, so of course I was riding with that, and I agreed. Like, it was a lot of happy-go-lucky, a lot of bullshit in the hip-hop game at that time. Now, hip-hop had enough space and enough universalism, if you will, to be able to have that. So I respected it for what it was worth, and just looked at it like, okay, that's that dancey shit. It's cool for what it's worth, but we rocking with the hardcore shit. You know what I'm saying? But I never really got down with that whole Mace, Diddy type shit. I'm more rock with Biggie and Junior Mafia, Lil' Kim, of course, and the Lox. That was where, I was riding with it. But every time Diddy would show up, like, I never forget the song that I hated. I hated that fucking Flavor in Your Ear. I hated that fucking song. And they played it to death. They played it to death. I never was a Craig Mack fan that much. Loon in them, nah. He had some good R&B groups, but 112 was I was on Jodeci. It was like it was just every time Diddy would come out with something, it was like he was putting out hits, so you had to respect it, but it just wasn't my flavor. You know what I'm saying? Then you saw him beefing with the Locks, and that's when I was like, okay, now we really starting to see some undercover shit of what's really going on. When you saw three real ass dudes like the Locks have real problems with Diddy, that's when I was like, okay, I knew this dude was cruddy. I knew something was up with this dude. And then it really snowballed from there. From there all the way till now. That whole Kim Porter shit, I knew that shit was suspect. Now we starting to see a lot of that shit. His bodyguard talking about how he was abusing Kim Porter, and there's a lot of shit people didn't know about that. Now this whole thing with Cassie comes out, and she just aired all the dirty laundry. She gave us that peek through the window that we needed. The shit that I've been saying, the shit that we've heard, the shit that I've heard from people that were dealing with him, like personally. I used to work in the barbershop, and young up and coming artists used to come in the barbershop and would tell us about funny ass shit that was going on in Diddy's office and shit. And I believed every word of it. Because they had no reason to lie, you know what I'm saying? And then you see Diddy, 50 was trolling Diddy, and any chance he could get, 50 was trolling Diddy, and Diddy wasn't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't do nothing with 50. And it's like 50 wouldn't keep bullying on this dude if it wasn't something there. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people been telling us about Diddy, for the diddler, for a long time. But finally Cassie came out and really pulled the Band-Aid off and let everybody see what was going on inside, all the filth and the dirt, and to see what this dude really was. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, well, where's the proof and this and that? Well, he covered that shit up. He put that Band-Aid back on it before she could really pull that proof out. You mean that you really think that she was getting beat up and busted lips and things like that, and you think she don't have no pictures? You think that she would file a lawsuit in that much detail with 30 pages full and not have no evidence? Because if you ain't got no evidence, then why would you pay her off? Why would you keep her quiet? It's already out there. The details of what she was accusing them of is already out there. So you can't put that back in the bottle. So the best thing to do now is to fight that shit. If she ain't got, if you didn't do what she said you did, and so you know there would be no evidence if that's the case, then why not fight this shit and expose her for being a liar? Because that's what Johnny Depp just did with Amber Heard. And people say, oh, well, he ain't want to pay that money. The dude's a billionaire. He's a fucking billionaire. Why would you not fight that shit if you innocent? This ain't about money. If it was anybody else who didn't have that kind of bread to pay them lawyers, then you'd be like, okay, maybe, yeah, he just wanted to cut his losses on the lawyers. But this dude's a billionaire. He got yachts and shit. He could sell a yacht and pay the lawyer off. You know what I'm saying? So don't give me that shit about this a money thing. Nah, this was about him keeping this shit hush hush and making this shit disappear as fast as he could. Because he knew if that shit went to trial, that all the details was gonna come out. Everybody just watched that Johnny Depp Amber Heard shit. And you saw the real details, and they do documentaries on the court proceedings and go real in detail for the people that don't have time to sit there and watch that shit every day while they at work. That's all right. They gonna come and do a whole documentary like a O.J. Simpson trial type joint. Make it a TV series. That's what he was trying to shut down. He was trying to shut down them being able to stretch this shit out and do live documentaries, to do reenactment documentaries, to do series on this joint, to do a surviving P. Diddy. Well, a surviving the Diddler joint is still gonna come out, but you can guarantee he got NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, where people can't talk on this shit. He got so many of those joints because you heard now that the only reason he gave people back their publishing was the only way you could get it was you had to sign an NDA to where you can't speak on him and his name no more. So what is he trying to hide? Why would he say, I'll give you your publishing back, but you can't speak on nothing? You know what I'm saying? So that tells you he's really trying to hide some shit to where he would never give up publishing all this time. And all of a sudden, out the blue, he's willing to just get that shit up. But it's going to come with some ultimatums. So everything you needed to see is right there in front of you. Everything that you questioned is right there in front of you. And now you see dude is a sick dude. He's a real sick dude. And for him to be strutting around here like he's still that dude and still that king and still that boss and still that upper echelon of people in the music industry and act like his shit don't stink, it's real sickening, man. It's real sickening because if this dude was really putting his hands and fists on these young, smaller, weaker females, that's the worst of the worst right there. A dude who constantly beats women into submission verbally and physically. You a sick motherfucker to have multiple incidents with multiple women when it comes to this kind of shit. You know, a lot of people make mistakes. A lot of people get into brawls or fights with their girls and shit. Like, you know, especially when you're young, like that shit can get out of control. Like that Chris Brown shit, right? You know, that shit got real out of control. He was young. You know, it was brutal though. It was real bad, right? But you know, a lot of people get into fights and shit with their significant others all the time, right? But you as a man are supposed to repent and condemn yourself and get help and make sure that that shit never happens again, right? If a woman pushes your buttons and you go the fuck off and you cross that line, you not only have to be punished, you have to punish yourself and you have to fix yourself. So when you see somebody like Diddy just trying to keep everything quiet and constantly doing this shit to multiple women, you know, the dude is sick. When you see some of the details in those documents about him pleasuring himself while she was having sex with other men, that's a sick motherfucker. The whole sex trafficking shit, see, a lot of people ain't talking about that. She had sex trafficking on his ass. That's what he was trying to shut down. And that shit is a lot bigger than you think. That rabbit hole is a lot deeper than you think. And that's what he was trying to shut down. Dude is a sick dude. So I'm glad that y'all finally caught up with the shit that I've been talking for 30 years. I ain't never rock with that dude. And now we get to see, just like with R. Kelly, we get to see all these skeletons come out. And it's about time. That truth comes to the light, y'all. Fix yourself before the skeletons come and fix you. Repent for that shit. Fix that shit. Or you gonna end up an old person being condemned for your rest of your life. Because this shit is not gonna end well for Diddy. It's more coming. It's more coming, guarantee you. Wait and see. We're gonna come back and revisit this video. Cause wait till you see what's coming out now. You starting to see the floodgates open on a lot of shit with him. Wait till you see what's coming out next. And until next time, we out.